What time should you start your fasting? What's going on, guys? Tyson here, and today I want to talk to you about a question I've been commonly asked, and it's what time should you actually start fasting in the afternoon? Like, is it better to wait till later at night, or when do you do it, Tyson? And one thing that's been shown lately, guys, is that the earlier in the day you do it, the more beneficial it's going to be. There's a few reasons for that, and I'm going to share with you guys. So number one is that what they've shown is that when you go to get ready for bed, your body starts producing melatonin, right? And what happens when you have high levels of melatonin, you actually increase your insulin resistance, which is what you don't want. You want to be insulin sensitive. And so what they found is the closer to bed you eat, the worse it can actually be for you, right? So you want to try and think about trying to eat your meal as close to as daytime as possible, right? So what I mean by that is when the sun starts to go down, that's when you want to be having your last meal. So this could be, depending on where you are, it could be around 5 o'clock, it could be around 6 o'clock, but the earlier you can make it, the more beneficial it's going to be for your body. That's number one, okay? So in order to make sure your insulin sensitivity is still high, you want to have it earlier on in the day. And I'll give an example in my case. Every single day, I finish eating at about 5:15 to 5:30. I actually finish my last drink, not with a lot of carbs either. I have it more healthy fats and high protein. So I actually have a protein shake with some nuts and also an avocado in there too with some yogurt and milk. So I'm getting proteins and I'm getting healthy fats, and that way it's a good way to end the day. So I don't have a lot of carbohydrates in there. I have my carbohydrates more at the start of the day, and also it's like I've got something in my stomach, but it's very, very quick to consume. Because I'm with clients, I don't have time to sit down and eat a meal, so I just simply have a protein shake. But that might not be for everyone. If you want to go home and have a meal with your family type of thing, you just need to try and move it as close to the end of daytime as possible. The closer you can have it to 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, things like that, it's going to be so much more beneficial for you from an insulin point of view, number one, and also better sleep. What they've actually found is people who eat earlier on in the day have a better sleeping habit. Number two, the reason it's so good to be able to break the fast, to be able to start the fast earlier on during the day, is because then you don't have to wait so long the next day. So for me at the moment, I'm doing a 14-hour fast, and that means if I stop by 5 o'clock, 5:15, by 7:15, I can have my first coffee for the day. And that's great because I don't want to be waiting until 9, 10, 11 o'clock. And so if you are someone who likes to have a little bit of an early meal, or even likes to have a coffee earlier on during the day, the earlier you start your fast, the earlier you can actually break it the next day. So for me, I like to go 5:15 to 5:30, and the next day by 7:30, I can have my coffee. Simple as that. So that's number two reason that I like it. Number three is, like I said, if you start to get, like sometimes people on the weekend, they want to go out for breakfast, they want to go and socialize, they want to go and do those things. If you start your fast earlier on in the day, like on a Friday night type of thing, like if you say, okay, I'm going to have it at 5 o'clock, then on a Saturday you can go out to breakfast, or you can go out to brunch, or you can do those other things where you want to go and socialize, but you don't want to tell everyone, oh, well, I'm fasting, so I can't eat. And they're the three big things, the three big reasons why I actually like starting a fast earlier on during the day. So if you can do it, what I really suggest is that you try and make it early as possible, okay? 5:30, between 4:30 and 5:30 are going to be the best times because the sun's still up, your body is still in sync, because remember, we also work off a circadian clock. Our bodies aren't designed to eat huge meals at dinner time, especially when you go out and drink and things like that. The body's not designed for that. When we were hunter-gatherers, we weren't out partying, drinking, eating deer all the time at night time. We were doing that during the day when we were most active. So if you consume your food around where you're most active and have a lighter dinner, more higher in protein, vegetables and healthy fats, it's going to be so much more beneficial for you. Number one, in regards to sleeping better and also your insulin resistance. Number two is that when you start your fast earlier, you can break it earlier the next day, so you're not craving that coffee that you want. Because a lot of people, even though they don't want to break the fast with food, we still want our coffee in the morning, right, guys? And so if you want your coffee, it's perfect, because if it's 7:15, you've already fasted for 14 hours, you are set. So try and break it earlier in the day, so then you can break it earlier in the day the next day. And the third reason, like I said, is that if you want to go and socialize on the weekends, or you're going out for breakfast or anything like that, you have that opportunity to be able to break it earlier instead of telling people, no, I can't eat because I'm doing my intermittent fasting. So that's the recommendation, guys. Try and have it your last meal as early as possible and start that fast. And remember, fasting is everything except for water that you do not consume. So there's no teas, no coffees, no green teas, no herbal teas, no zero sweetness, no BCAAs, none of that stuff. A true fast for 14 hours is nothing but water. That is your fasting tip of the day. Speak to you guys tomorrow.